You know, I really appreciate doing these monthly check-ins because there are some months like this past month where I am like, where did all my money go? And then I do the thing where I do the breakdown of how I spent all my money to tell you guys about for, you know, accountability. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's where all my money went. Hi, my name is Maddie, and I am on a journey of weight loss and financial wellness after last year when I
had a baby.
Oh God, it's gonna be May. Well, it was already May, and you know, we did not make as much progress as I wanted to make. Now, a disclaimer to any new viewers that stumble across this video. I am on a debt payoff journey. I would like to someday stop renting. I do like our apartment, but and our upstairs neighbors are actually really lovely people, but I'm so tired of sharing walls with people. In my adult life, I have never not shared walls with someone, and I'd like to stop. Houses are too expensive to rent, and I'm also tired of throwing my money into a hole. So the ultimate goal of this debt payoff journey is to get into more debt, aka have a house. But if you are new around here, then you would know that while I am paying off debt, I'm still living my life, okay? I am still living my life. I've been watching a ton of Bradley on a Budget, if you're not familiar with him. And he talks about how like treating yourself is not great and saving money is treating yourself. And too many of us live in society where tomorrow is not promised. And maybe it's past trauma. It's probably very much past trauma, but tomorrow truly isn't promised. So I'm going to take that little family vacation to go see my loved ones. I'm going to celebrate the holidays and do the things. But having said that, as with all things, there's always room for improvement. And there definitely was this month. So in terms of money, in terms of financial transparency, my husband and I from our day jobs make about $4,800 a month. Now my check does have significant things that come out of it. Me and our baby's health insurance. My husband also obviously has health insurance come out. Retirement is something else. I don't believe in not saving toward retirement, even though I'm in debt. I have a good company that matches what I put in. And like, that's what we in the business call free money.
Or what we like to call in the biz as free money.
Regardless, that is the money we pull in. I will throw the number up as far as like what our bills are minus debt. But what I do have are a few breakdowns of things. Groceries, gas, restaurants, holidays, because May had a bunch of holidays / special occasions for us. And then some miscellaneous costs, as well as like some extraneous spending that I should or should not have spent money on. We'll see. Stay tuned. So in terms of groceries, that is going to include, we have a baby. He still drinks formula. And so that is going to include formula. We do cloth diaper for the most part. However, he does sleep in disposables at night. And sometimes when he's taken a long nap, we put him in a disposable because we have not, even though he's literally going to be 11 months old in less than 2 weeks. If we don't change him like every hour and a half, he will pee through it. Groceries, formula, diapers, toiletries. That number for a family of 3 and also 3 cats comes to $835.90. It's not the worst, and it's not as bad as I've done in the past when it comes to grocery shopping, but it's still not the best. I have repeatedly thought about making a video like trying to get my grocery bill down. And the sad thing is I do know some places where to cut. I partially don't want to. The number one place we could cut is this. And you might be like, Maddie, what is that? This is a Red Bull. Energy drinks are a huge place where we can cut. Now, I do drink coffee. I try to limit my Alani energy drink consumption. That's like my big, like I need a big boost of energy. I limit that to twice a week. We do buy our energy drinks in bulk, either at Sam's Club or I can order them from Walmart. And that does save, especially with the Alani, saves a significant amount of money. And I'm not gonna lie, do you know who the culprit is? It's my husband. He's the culprit because he doesn't really drink coffee. He'll drink like a frou-frou drink from Starbucks, but he doesn't drink coffee. I'm calling you out, Henry. I am calling you out. For funsies for Maddie, I'm gonna throw the number up on the screen of what we spent on caffeinated beverages this month. We definitely could tighten up there. The other place, the place where I'm the culprit, I'm calling myself out, are like convenience protein things. So I've totally gotten into the Fairlife stuff. Fairlife protein shakes, they are the GOAT. They are so delicious. They taste like chocolate milk. I hate how expensive they are. I try not to have like, I don't know. I try not to have too many, but like I could be better, honestly. Quest protein chips are another one. Just even like basic swaps, like a cottage cheese that has more protein. If it's convenient, it's expensive, which is annoying. There's probably some other places we could cut down, honestly. And I am hoping whenever our baby goes to drinking whole milk instead of formula once he turns a year old, which will happen in July, I am hoping that that will help things at least for a little bit. I know obviously it'll come a time where he'll be a bigger eater and he'll eat more things. And then next up in the categories are gas. So I don't live in a particularly big state. Compared to a lot of people, I don't really live in a particularly big city. However, gas has gotten ridiculous. It cost me about $60 to fill up my tank. And because my son Hank's daycare was so far away, I was having to gas up once a week. So gas could have been worse, but total in May, it looks like we spent $283.50 on gas. Real quick, and this is not sponsored at all, but this month I did download the Upside app, as did my husband Henry. And we managed to save like $33 on not just gas, but they just have all kinds of deals when you sign up, like gas, convenience stores, restaurants. I did leave my code in my Instagram bio because I can't share it here on YouTube because I have over 2,500 subscribers. That's their rules. But yeah, if you want to sign up for it and use my code, that helps me out, then feel free to do so. It costs $0. I just wanted to mention that, and I had completely forgotten to mention it here. Okay, let's get back to past Maddie. So those are necessities, obviously. You gotta go places and you gotta eat. So next up are restaurants. And unfortunately, restaurant does exclude like extraneous spending. We have a budget of $320 a month for restaurants. So for us, that's $80 a week, $60 to go someplace decent to get some food, and $20 to go get a coffee of some kind. So in May, excluding special occasions, we spent $259.71. On paper, that is under budget. However, Mother's Day, Memorial Day, that kind of... I categorize those separately, but like we did spend money on food. So did we come in under budget? Technically not. But, you know, I'm still proud though. That's a lot better than some other months. I've had months where we've done really bad in terms of going out to eat. One thing that I want to do to improve in this department is I do have an espresso maker. So I really do want to try to make coffee at home. Part of the reason that I don't make coffee at home as often anymore is because I can never get it to taste as good as at a cafe. I have like a couple of drinks that are pretty close, but I can't. And when I go to a cafe, because I am on a weight loss journey, I don't order like the mocha choca, extra caramel drizzle, you know, sweetest drink that'll give you diabetes and all the land. I don't order that. I generally order something where like tops, I'm going to be drinking 100 calories in a sitting. So I think for me, I'm going to make it like a goal of mine for June to try to master a decent at-home coffee recipe. When I drink coffee at home, I try to consume even less calories, but I think I'm going to start with like a decent caloried coffee drink and then you know, once I'm like, okay, I've mastered that recipe, see what I can cut out or make healthy swaps to like limit that and try to limit our coffee trips. I really do enjoy our coffee trips. But the thing is, it's not just a coffee trip. It's usually like, oh, let's get a sweet treat. We definitely spent too much money on coffee this month. So not doing that. It's not happening. I'm going to make it my mission to do better. So next up are the holidays, the special occasions, because you might be hearing me and going, Maddie, holidays, there's two in May, Memorial Day and Mother's Day. Unless there's something that you celebrate in your culture, leave it down in the comments below. But those are the two like major commercialized holidays. And I know Memorial Day is like not supposed to be commercialized, but tell that to all the businesses that be emailing me about all their special deals. So for Mother's Day, my loving and sweet husband spent $110 for my gift. And I can't even front y'all, I literally requested it. It's pretty much the same thing that I get every Mother's Day. And it is a massage and a sensory deprivation tank float. I love it. It's amazing. I like don't condone drugs, nor do I take drugs, but I really one day want to like get high and go hang out in a sensory deprivation tank. They literally have a rule like, no, you cannot do that, but I want to do it anyway. It won't be this year, but maybe someday. Regardless, I love it. I feel high when I leave, despite no drugs. Having said that, so that is what he spent. And then what I spent on Mother's Day, because my own mother now lives in town. She moved up here. Technically, they kind of moved up in the beginning of the year. Her husband moved up here and started working at his job. And then they fully moved up here in February. And so I spent, I'm looking down at my napkin, I apologize, but I spent $76.31. So my mother and I went and got something to eat. We went to see The Devil Wears Prada 2 in movie theaters. I had a whole rant about it in this video where I'm kind of pointing. I think we did some stuff with that. We had a grand old time. I'm going to be real with you. And I paid for all that because my mother does do a lot for us when it comes to Hank. And so, I don't know, she deserves it. And then, even though Father's Day is not until like toward the end of June, I like to be prepared. Now, because Henry spent $110 on me, that was what I was budgeted to spend on him for Father's Day. Did I spend that? No, I spent $120. It's not the worst going over budget, but like, my bad. But I got him a few things. I will not be discussing what those things are because Father's Day will not have happened by the time this video comes out. I blame Etsy though, because I did budget and Etsy's like, fee, fi, fo, fum, bitch. There's a fee for this and taxes for that and a fee for that. So yeah, sure. We told you this would be $18, but after shipping, after, you know, the tax, after the taxes, grandson's tax, that's going to be like $32. So anyway, I did plan accordingly. It just didn't work out. That's my bad. And then we also spent $100 on Memorial Day. I don't know what else to say. My mother has been dying to go to basically, it's sort of like a Topgolf type of place. She's been dying to go and she's been dying to take her husband. However, he doesn't have a ton of holidays off. So we did go on Memorial Day, and because they do a lot for us in terms of, you know, my son, their grandchild, we did pay. So that was $100 too. And then the last like holiday was that one of my husband's nephews did graduate high school. So I will say we were basically kind of like trying to find a gift for him. And there was a lot of pressure to just throw money at him. But the thing is, number one, my husband does have a lot of nieces and nephews on his side of the family. And so it adds up when you start throwing money at every single niece and nephew. I get that he's grown and like that's probably the time to throw money at him. But I opted not to because number two, he actually has a really good job. He got a really good job while he was in high school. And as far as I know, like, he got money. I mean, I'm just saying, he got money. I mean, he has it more together than I did when I was 18. So congrats to him. He does not watch this channel, so he will not know I'm congratulating him. I did it in person. Regardless, we got him a gift, and the gift was like 20 bucks. And then it was requested that we bring crumble cookie because they don't have a crumble cookie. So we did do that, in a pack of 4 plus a tip at Crumble. That's going to be 20 bucks. So it was 40 bucks. Okay, so I haven't even gotten to the end, because guess what else is in June, but it's early June? My birthday. And my husband has at least spent $45 on me, but I haven't been obviously like clocking how much he has spent on me. That's like $500 on holidays and special occasions. Ugh. 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 The last thing I'm going to tell on myself for is like miscellaneous spending. So in the month of May, Henry and I spent total together $180 on hair. He got his haircut. I got my haircut and dyed. And you can really not tell. Actually, you really can tell in this lighting. I got highlights. I shouldn't have done it. Now, I haven't had highlights put in since October, and I just really wanted to, and I regret it. The juice was not worth the squeeze. So unfortunately, that was, yeah, $180. We also did enroll my son in swimming lessons. I do want him to be used to the water. I was kind of afraid of the water when I was really little. I don't want that for him. So that was $54 for the month of June, although we paid in May. At the beginning of the month, I also went to a book sale, and I paid $13 for those books. Actually, you know, that low-key doesn't count, though, because I had some money sitting in my Venmo account that I used for that, but whatever. I also went to a thrift store with my friend, and like, shopping with friends, so much fun, but also like, they're bad influences. But seriously, it's my fault. I spent that money. I was the one that swiped my card. She didn't hold a gun to my head, but I will say I got the cutest cat treat ever, and I love it when my cat sleeps on it, my elder cat. She's such a little lady. It's so cute. It was 20 bucks, so like, I don't regret that purchase necessarily. And then the other thing was that we did have like an employee appreciation type of thing. And so they partnered with some local businesses, and I ended up going to yoga twice this month, just a random yoga class for 10 bucks each. So I spent $20 on some miscellaneous yoga. I love yoga. I like yoga in a class setting. I find it very relaxing. I always feel amazing after I leave yoga. It just doesn't hit the same to do it at home. It's just not as relaxing to do it at home to a YouTube video. I don't know why. It's just not. I will say one of those was actually like a Mother's Day gift to me from me, was to go to yoga. And then last but not least on the miscellaneous extraneous spending was that I did spend $80 on Amazon this month. I have not done a lot of Amazon shopping this year because I canceled my Prime account when I started this whole journey. However, I needed to order something, and they went ahead and they were like, hey girl, hey, why don't you get a month of Prime for free? And those bastards, they knew what they were doing. And then wait, there's more. There is a little bit more. So I did pay $20 for a veggie cutter on Facebook Marketplace. I will say it was a brand new veggie cutter that cost $30 on Amazon, so I felt like that was a pretty good deal. I bought a $5 end table because we used to have a TV tray in our living room, but little man is pulling up on everything. He's crawling, he's cruising, and obviously that's not stable. So we did buy a $5 end table off of Marketplace. And I also found a copy of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Switch for 20 bucks. And I don't regret that one at all, because if you ever buy used Switch games, they cost an arm, a leg, and an asshole. Okay, I'm so sorry. So despite all this spending of money, we did still pay toward debts. Now I will say I was a little disappointed in how we did. Now that I've broken down all the numbers, I'm like, oh, well, damn. I really wanted to pay off the next debt thing in the lineup. Now, obviously, I spent all that money. I told you all the money that I've spent. So that was a big part of the reason. But reason numero dos was kind of a reason that I didn't expect. So if you guys watched my debt update from last month, and you would know we had a family emergency. We had to go out of town, and we spent like $900 for a long weekend out of town between hotel, food, gas, all that stuff. Yeah. And we managed to do that without going further into debt, which was really nice. However, we usually have this cushion in our bank account that basically like helped us pay debt more aggressively. I feel like the people who get it, because I always like to have a cushion, because guess what? My ADHD ass is gonna forget something. I'm gonna forget something. So it's nice to have that cushion in case you forget. And I say taking that trip, it was for a family thing. It was not a fun trip. It got rid of that cushion. And so it felt harder to pay off debt more aggressively. That, and like I said, like I've told you guys point blank period, I spent a lot of money this month. Having said that, we have 3 remaining debts. We have 2 credit cards and a loan. You know what's funny is I actually did not include the loan in something that I wanted to pay off in 2026. I still don't think we will pay it off in 2026, but I am still including it because the goal is to pay it off. Credit card numero uno had about $1,200 in it last month, and I went ahead and I made a payment of $500. Unfortunately, due to interest and other bullshit, it is now sitting at, I think, $850, maybe $900. So yeah, but that is the big payment that we made. Additionally, we did pay on minimums. So there is, I'm going to put the exact number on the screen. There's about $900 remaining on our smallest debt, a $4,000 credit card that we're just paying minimums on right now while we focus on that smaller credit card, and then a loan that has also about $4,000 on it because we pay $400 toward that every single freaking month. However, that loan has lower interest than the credit card, so the credit cards, they got to go first. Having said that, it is my goal to pay off that credit card in the month of June. I'm saying it out loud. I'm saying it to you. It is my goal because July is going to be a very difficult month to pay off debts. We are taking a family trip to see Henry's uncle. He's very close with this uncle. This uncle is a father figure to him, and this uncle has not met our baby boy Hank yet. So we are doing that. The plane tickets are paid for. I don't even know if I'm going to do a debt update for July or not, or maybe I'll just do like a whole 6-month, here's how much debt I've paid off this year. The point is, we're not going to make a ton of progress in July, and I know that. Additionally, our baby boy's birthday is in July, and we will be having a party. We have people driving / flying / whatever coming in for that. I keep forgetting this is my May debt update. Like, I'm looking too far ahead. The point is, I do want to make progress in June and pay off that next credit card so we can knock that one off and focus on the next credit card. Jesus Christ. So naturally, you might be like, Maddie, so you're locking the fuck in June, right? Mostly. Okay. Some people that are watching this are probably so done with my shit. And you know what? That's fair. So June is actually proving to be a time of transition for us in terms of, well, number one, our baby, Hank, is actually going to a new daycare. Now, this daycare is more expensive. And my flex savings account that I rely on to pay for his daycare does not cover all of it. Having said that, it is much closer. Like, it's like a few miles from our house. Whereas between the construction that's going around in the city that I live in, and actually, I guess it's mainly the construction, our old daycare was 15 miles away, one way. I think it'll balance out. I do think he's going to have to use more disposables. They do cloth diaper him at this daycare, but I did give her permission to, disposable diaper him for his naps. So he is starting daycare, but we will be spending less money in gas. So if we come out ahead on that, that remains to be seen. So that's number one. Number two is that my niece will be coming to visit us and to stay with my mom for the month of June and some of July. And I love my niece. I'm really excited she's coming. And so naturally, I want to do things with my niece. I will say I am going to set a budget of $150. I honestly want to set a budget of $100 to do things. We are going to do some free things, but we are going to do some things that cost money. But I'm going to set a hard budget, no more than $150 to do fun stuff around town with my niece. So that's the other thing. And then I swear I did not think that this video would be so long. I am so sorry. But there are some like good things on the horizon as well for June. Number one, my husband used to donate plasma. I also used to donate plasma, but your girl is anemic now, so I can't. But my husband used to donate plasma, and he had stopped because he got a new job. It's much more difficult to do that. However, he will be starting that back up. He will be doing it at least once a week, and that will be an extra $200 a month, and that's not nothing. And number two, I saved the best for last. I can't lie to y'all. Why did that come out country? I can't lie to y'all. I saved the best for last, and I kind of circled around how I wanted to talk about this because I have my day job, but I do make a little bit of money from YouTube. And up until this point, YouTube has been 100% for YouTube. So any of the money I make for YouTube, I put it right back into YouTube. My Canva subscription, at some point I'm going to get an Epidemic Sound subscription. Any little thing I need, like a piece of equipment, a memory card, I got a new light, all of those things, like my money that I make from YouTube just goes back into it for tax reasons. However, I have been a little more blessed this year. And I don't know, I just hesitate to talk about it because I have seen people get really resentful of other people when they're like making bank on YouTube. I want to be so crystal clear that I am not making bank on YouTube, but I am making enough money that I have money that's just hanging out in my account. My original plan was to basically just let it sit in that account because what I don't want to happen is to owe a bunch of money next year from my taxes from this year. However, I did a little more research and realized like if I'm setting back about 30% for taxes, that should cover that. So this month, if everything goes according to plan, I will probably pay some money toward my debts with my YouTube money. So that makes me doubly hopeful that I will pay off that $900 credit card. It just does. That has been a lot of rambling. I'm so sorry. I keep looking down at this napkin because I'm like, have I forgotten anything? I don't think I have. May was not great. May was kind of messy, and it was through all the faults of my own. But it's okay. We will persevere. We're still making progress, and that's what matters. Some part of me is like, I'm kind of mad at myself, like, maybe we should have done better. But then part of me is like, this is real life. Real life is messy. And what am I going to do? Give up? Quit? No. If you like this video, if you like financial transparency, if you are on a weight loss journey as well, then, like, comment, and subscribe because the YouTube wizards, they love that for the growth of my channel. Let's hit 5,000 subscribers. Oh my God, this is probably obnoxious for the mic. Let's hit 5,000 subscribers. Can we make my tiny dreams a reality? I don't know why that's my tiny dream. It's just because I've just been sitting at like 4,500, now 4,700, but I've been sitting in the same like threshold for a while now. So hitting 5K subscribers, it would just be nice for me, for your girl. It's my 3rd year on YouTube. But okay. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Bye.